Hello guys, welcome to the video. This is going to be the second and the third part of the previous video about a Vuhdoo guide. The first part was the video about general Vuhdoo options. Now we are going to go through our layouts for M+ and for RAID. So let's first go for our RAID, even though our M+ profile is already loaded, right? So if you go to RAID, first we want to disable our RAID icon. Okay, that's good. First you want to go to move and you want to figure out there is this, you can set multiple panels, right? By pressing add new panel here, you can put like 10 new panels. And if you really want to have multiple panels, you can do that. You can put several groups on one panel, and if I press this button here, I can add more groups, right? You can reorder the groups if I drag this group number 1, and if you see this yellow blinking line, that's where the group is going to go. So I can rearrange them to go from right to left, right? However, me personally, I like it from left to right. So now that we get this through, okay, you can also go to see how they look right now. Go to test. Now, if it's a current, it's only going to show for 1 people. Usually you play 20-man mythic raiding, go for 20 test, and this is how your frames are going to look like, right? So let's just have this turned on, go to panels and go to general, right? So you want to have them grouped here, and you don't want to do anything with sorting because your groups are going to get set by and sorted by your raid leader through this raid tab here in the game, right? You can put your anchor here. So anchor is basically the place from where your group grows, right? So let's say there is a 5 people in this raid here. Right now it's still a party, so if you put the anchor here, once you add the 6th player, it's going to show up here, right? If my anchor is here, then my 5-player party is going to be here, and the 6th player is going to be here, right? So if you put your anchor here, it's going to grow from top right towards bottom left as you add more people to your group, right? So it's going to be group 1 up, down, top, bottom, and that's the way how the game is going to fill out your groups. We have this panel option. So panel is everything, all of these frames are on this panel number 1. So let's put opacity to black. So as you can see, you have this panel here, and panel is like a general background for your frame. So all of your frames are like stuck to this panel, right? So we are going to explain how to do that, right? So here is the sizing. We have bar width and bar height. You can go with whichever width you wanna. If you want to go for this, I can go for that. I usually like to go for something symmetrical, like 150. So it's like almost. It's not symmetrical, but there is a certain ratio there. So gap is the gap between your panel and your frame. So if I put gap 26, your panel is going to be much taller than your party frames, or actually raid frames. And if I put this gap, so now you can see how your panel is bigger than your frames. I think the perfect alignment is actually a value of 2, so you can put it on 2, and now it's perfectly aligned this way and perfectly aligned horizontally and perfectly aligned vertically, right? So this is perfectly aligned. That's sizing, and this spacing here is spacing between your party frames, which is really hard to see on this black background. If we go to headers, we can choose the texture of our header. That's this part here when you see the group 1, 2, 3, and 4. We can set the texture. You have this spacing, which is basically empty space between the top of this and the first frame. So if I put this on 50, you see the name stays up here to the top. However, there is this space between the name and the first frame, right? You just put it on whatever you will like, and size is just the size of this header, and the party is going to be in the middle, right? So I put like this. You see the size is huge, and the name of the group is in the middle. Put it on whatever you like. Let's put it on 15 just for the sake of this video. Width, you can touch this, but this is just the width of your texture. This is clean. Texture, you can set anything. I like to have it disabled, so I just put this to 0 and it's disabled. So I like to go back to general, and I want to make it disappear, right? I just want to have these names and no background. Go background, opacity 0. Okay, now you see there is no background, however there is a border, so you go border, opacity 0. Okay, now we also have no border, right? Now you can see the space here between bars, so we go to sizing, and there is this space here. I go for 3 because I like to have this small gap between my frames. You can put it, I don't know, like this or like this. I think automatic drag addon like this or something, right? You can put it there, and you can put it like this and put your, let's say, raid icon or roll icon outside of frame, right? If you want to put it like that. I think the tiniest gap is the value of 3, and you can put panel size to whichever you like. If you have hard time seeing HOTS, you can increase your panel scale, and the hot icons are going to scale with it. We go to bars. You can put gradient, class, color, solid. In the raid for the world first, I've seen all 3. I've seen class, color, I've seen gradient, and I've seen solid as well. So top players play whatever they like. Headers, we already displayed that. Header text, this is where you customize your font and so on. I put it just on express by bold, and I want to have this space be smaller. No, sorry, size be smaller. Okay, now it's fine. Targets don't show, tooltips don't show text. You can choose which text to put inside your party frames, your raid frames, sorry. I have just name and flags as AFK, disconnect, and I don't have that here, never mind. You can set to see hit points. For me personally, it's useless information, so I disable it altogether. Hot icons, so this is the most important part with debuffs, right? So for debuffs, personally, I use bottom right, and I have timer in the bottom right corner of my icon, and my stacks in top left corner in green. So you want to keep both of these trackers, and you don't want to overlap them. You want to put them on separate corners to see them. My icons for debuffs are in bottom left, so when I go to panels and hot icons, I want to have bottom left available for me at all times, so I don't put anything in bot left, right? So for raid, you should ask yourself, what are the most important HOTS I like to keep track of. So you can go to raid logs or to watch some healers, some druid healing in raid, and you will see that majority of killing comes from rejuve, wild growth, and efflorescence, right? So you want to keep track of these HOTS first, right? So let's put a rejuve in our number 1 slot, that's top left. Actually, let's go to tools, move, current, go back to panel. Okay, we want to put a rejuve on our top left just to see it clearly, and we want to put life bloom on our tanks somewhere. We put it on 3. 3 is bottom left here, and regrowth on 2, right? So what we want to see is we want to see wild growth and a rejuve. That's why we have them one next to the other. 1 and 6, 1 is rejuve and 6 is wild growth. So when I play plus rejuve and wild growth, this is enough information for me to heal, and I know that these players don't need a rejuve applied to them, right? That's one of the reasons why you never check this, right? You don't want to keep track of any HOTS that do not come from you. So let's say you have 2 restoration druids in your raid and anyone else cast a rejuve on you. If you have this shown, these others here clicked, it's going to show that you already have the buff, the HOT, but it's not yours, right? So always go to own and disable others, right? So yeah, number 3 will usually go to both of your tanks, and you wanna track spring blossoms. You can put it on, let's say, 5. I have scenario and ward on 5, but maybe it's not important for raid, as it's not. Let's put spring blossoms here. So these are all of my HOTS, and they are on the left side. On right, I like to have debuffs shown. This bar here is just if you go to hot bars, it shows spring blossoms. I don't think it's useful, so just go put this empty and you are going to disable it. So if you don't like seeing icons, right, you can go for glossy, and now when I press a rejuve, it's going to have this glossy square. You can also put it on flat. It's going to be a flat, and text is not going to get shown, right? So I've seen some healers put this on flat, so this flat red square is good enough information for them. You can also change the color of all of your HOTS selected here in slot. So let's say rejuve is red and the regrowth is light blue. If I go to colors and go to HOTS, this is the section where I can change colors. I don't like a rejuve be on red and wild growth on light blue. I like to put wild growth on light green. Let's say I want to put it on this. Okay. And then text also on this color. Okay, good enough. And I want my rejuve to match the color of icon. Let's say I wanted to put this in pink, right? And this is good enough for me. And let's put it like this. And text also put it like that. You can also enter this code here. Okay. Wow, dude. Background. Let's put it like this on pink. Okay. So when I press this too, it's going to be pink, right? Or violet, or any color you want, right? And my wild growth is going to be green. So if you don't want to see icons, if that's too much detail for you, you can change the color here in this section and select flat here, or even glossy if you like. Let's stick with icons. that's about HOTS, and just put in center just tank. In raid, you don't want to track personal defensives and cooldowns. You just want to track tank defensives, right? That's why we have two bouquets. We have this tank cooldown extended, which contains only personals and active mitigation from tanks, and we have separate raid cooldowns here, which tracks everything. It tracks cheat death and aspect of turtle and feint and metamorphoses, darkness, and so on, right? So that's a separate bouquet. We will not track in raid, only tank cooldowns extended. I think that's about it for panels. Hot states, you want to have this enabled. I don't know if I repeat myself, just enable this. This is just instant information pointing to your eyes, this color change where your allies are affected by a certain type of debuff. Just have this enabled. Modes, you want to have this overshield and heal absorb. Powers, if you really want. HOTS, we already explained that. HOTS 2, classes, raid icon, target. Okay. With HOTS, you maybe want to have these seconds here and so on, but we are going to explain that in M+ section. So right now I don't have anything with maybe I want to put clock here. So let's just put clock on everything here and just have it like this. And now we only have this radiant clock around us that shows us the duration of the hot, right? So this is pretty good for us. In a raid, you might want to have this man bar enabled, just for the sake of helping your allies healers with inner raid. You can help your other healers, or you can be selfish and help yourself. However, I think there is also maybe some talent that gives you also benefit of inner raid when you use it on your allies. And yes, that's about it when it comes to raid. We already explained everything. You want to put indicator role icon here. Go to general indicators, special dot. I like to put role icon and summon status here. Because we are not the only healer in raid, and there will be multiple tanks and multiple DPS, so we kind of want to know who is who. If you want to change the size of this, go to special dot, edit, go back, more, and scale it down. Let's put it to 0.5, maybe 0.6 or something, and now it's visible. It gives you proper information, and it's not huge, right? And it's just offset enough to not to cover our ridge of done. And you can also put, if I'm not mistaken, you can also put like glossy thing here, if I'm not mistaken. Icon roll. Okay, you can put glossy thing here. You can put even flat and so on. The same thing you can do with HOTS. And yes, that's pretty much it. Go to tools, save, and these are your raid frames. Play around with them and so on. Let's go to party. So party is going to be quite different, right? Apply. Oops, no. Oh my god, never mind. We just applied raid, never mind. Let's just go again through everything. General, special dot, we don't need it in M+, put it on empty. General, this is fine, scanners fine, threat incoming fine, miscellaneous, I have just DC shield and ready, check and AFK and so on shown. Cluster, spell trace, bouquets, we're going to go through this. These are keybinds, explained, buffs, explained, debuffs, explained, panels. Okay, here it comes. We don't need to be grouped because there is only one group in M+, so put it to loose. It's going to remove this name of the group. Since we don't have the raid icon, we kind of want to know how to sort our party members. So I like to have it on tank, healer, damage dealer. These are default Blizzard sorting. I'm used to it. I used the default Blizzard frames for many years, right? You can also invert this selection here as well. You can put yourself first and so on. I like to have it like this. Background, we don't change this. Sizing, I like to have them huge. So let's put 170 with 65, let's say. Okay, they're huge now. 66, right? Let's go to tools, smooth, 5, test. Okay, it's pretty ugly. So we play M+, and we don't need this, right? So just disable all of this. Have only one group, it's enough. So this is going to be 5 people in our group. Okay, I like this. It's not too much close to the screen, but it's close enough. Let's go to current, panels, test. You wanna change gap and spacing. Gap is just the difference between your panel and your background. If you put it to you see how it's going to be very, I don't know, clunky. Let's just put it to 2 and enjoy. And spacing, I'll put it on 3. It's good enough for me. There is a small thing here. General, sizing, bars, put your texture. We don't need to see mana bar in M+, since we are the only healer and we cannot help anyone with mana. We can put gradient, class color, solid, whichever you want. Class color. Let's go back to move, current. Okay, we now see ourselves. Headers, they are disabled anyway. Targets, disable this. Tooltips, disable this. Text. I don't like how small text is right now, so I'm going to make it bigger. Text, class color, outline. Let's put it to 13, maybe 14. It's fine. Maybe this is too big. Let's put it on 15. Okay, now it's decent. I want to have name and flags. You can have anything you want. We already talked about this. HOTS. When it comes to HOTS, in M+, you're the only healer and you will keep track of more things, right? So you are fully responsible for healing in M+, right? So you want to keep track of more things. That's why you want to keep track of more HOTS and buffs and debuffs and so on. So as a restoration drain, since we are all around HOTS, I don't think this here is enough for us, right? So we want to have them, there is other option to have them ordered one after the other, right? So you can place it here and it's going to be in bottom left and it's going to grow towards right? So let's put this here and here, right? And see how it goes to right. Since my debuffs are in bottom right, I don't have them overlapping with HOTS. So let's put this in top left, and now it's a bit better, right? So this is too much for me. Let's scale them down to 30. This is almost perfect. It's visible. I have enough information. I will notice them when I heal, so they're fine. So now let's put ordering. In M+, your healing is mainly going to be through wild growth, through a rejuve, and through spring blossoms, right? Anything else is healing people who are taking huge beating with regrowth, right? So you wanna keep track of your life bloom. That's always going to be on yourself and on tank, thanks to photosynthesis and undergrowth. So number 1, let's put life bloom. So that's the first thing shown. The second, I like to put rejuve. The third, I like to put my wild growth. Number 4, let's put spring blossoms. Number 5, let's put regrowth. And number 6, if we really want to put something, we can put adaptive swarm. We can put scenario ward and so on. let's just keep this empty to have a space between our number 7, which is tank cooldown extended. In case of M+, we actually want to have this to show all of party members cooldowns. That's why we should use here different bouquet. And that bouquet is called raid cooldowns, right? So it's not only showing for tanks, it also shows for other roles, right? So now let's see how this looks like, and this is quite decent for me. Okay, this is how my heals look like right now. So the same thing as in red, you can put this on glossy, flat as well, icons. I like to have it in icons. You can choose whether or not duration to be shown. So I like to have only clock. You can also put duration here. To put it on clock, go to colors, HOTS, and just disable countdown for everything, and just put clock for everything. However, for raid cooldowns, I like to have full duration shown in seconds without clock. So if we go to Pannels and press bark skin, it's going to show full duration without clock. Here it is, full duration without clock. It's up here because of this sorting here, and it's not very customizable, so we cannot put it here, right? And hotbars, disable this altogether. Miscellaneous, raid icon. So since we put our HOTS on top, if we put raid icon on ourselves, it's going to overlap with, I think, Spring Blossoms or something. Yeah, bit. So we can offset it a bit to the side, or we can put it here, or even here. Since we don't have anything here, we can put it there, right? Raid icon, and we can also put it in corner by doing this slight offsetting. And I think now it's pretty decent, right? Now it's inside the corner, it's shown in bottom left. Let's just put it there. Overkill text, I don't want this to be shown. Yeah, that's about it. Colors, we already talked about this. I recommend keeping this heal absorb bar on. For states always on, right? There is some nasty things going on in dungeons. There is some curses in Temple of Jade Serpent, which also puts heal absorb on your party members. So you want to have absorb bar as well put in your party frames. If you're druid, you can dispel it, because you can dispel curses with improved nature's cure cooldown. Talent. Just keep track of these things. Modes, keep track of these things. Powers, you don't need this. HOTS, we explained that. HOTS to classes explained. Raid icon, target unit. Yeah, that's pretty much it. How things work for M+. It's much easier to explain when you already explained raid. So 2 things. You don't need special dot here in indicators. You don't need special dot here, because you know who is who by ordering you set here in general sort by. And you have, I recommend having this outer border here red for and put to border multi plus aggro. It's this is a default, right? So anyone who is ripping aggro from tank is going to have this red border around the party frame, and that is cue for you that person is having aggro currently, so you can act accordingly by spot healing them using your Swift Man or external like Iron Bark. If you are a Holy Paladin, you can bop them and so on, right? So have this enabled. And yes, that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, post it in comment down below. I stream on Twitch regularly. It's either from 8 in the morning or from 12 in the morning, depending on when I work. Yes, come in. We stream for 4 to 5 hours. Say hi. Check the stream. We are playing several different things on Twitch. There are some notes also for your general UI, so And this is just a bunch of pieces of advice I want to give, because before we call it again. So you want everything centered in the bottom, or in the center of your screen, because the screen is huge and there are many options that are not crucial for your gameplay at the moment, which are on border, like details, frame. You don't need to see that, like streamers, action tracker, and so on. So this is where I have it all. This is my weak auras, my player unit frame, my party frames. If we go to big wigs, and go show moving anchors. This is where I have my emphasized messages and the emphasized part, so it's there here. It's nicely shown. If you go to weak auras, we have a bunch of weak auras for everything. Let's say we go for Dragonflight dungeons. So here on this right side is going to show us, dungeons and what to do when targeted by spell and so on. There is also a roll the bones for my rogue here up, roll the bones reminder, and so on, right? So you want to have everything around your screen, right? For example, if I go to my Omni CD and go to dungeons and go to extra bars and go to test, you can see my interrupt bar lock frame. So my interrupts are here on this side because I have this space above target frame 3, so I put my interrupts here. So when I play my outlaw rogue, I don't need to go all over the place to see who has interrupt available from my teammates. I have it here above my target frame. Yeah, so that's about that from your UI. So you want to have everything clean and centered. I have this my chat frame here. I have streamer plugin here. My bags are up here. My tooltip is also up there. I don't know if you can see. My tooltip is also up there because this bottom part is very suspicious. I want to have it clean. From addons, just put your usual. There is not much healer stuff here. Advanced interface. Clik is fine. I don't use it right now, but I like to have it in case I'm playing some other healing addon. For healing specifically, there is not any other addons. There is some quality of life addons like Omni CD, OPI. Oh my god, there is Omni CD. Omni CD is definitely a healer addon. So when you go to Omni CD, the point of Omni CD, go to chat and type /Omni CD. It's going to open up this window. So go to dungeons and go to test. So it's going to show you your selected spells on this side. So I'm Restoration Druid, and if we go to spells, so dungeons, spells, and go to Druid, as you can see, all of these are written here, right? So bark skin is here. I don't run renewal, so it's not shown. I don't have sterile index, so it's not shown. So that's how you know what to track. You customize this to your accordance, right? If I play with Retribution Paladin, I like to have Blinding Lights on Divine Shield. I want to keep track of Divine Shields, of Ardent Defender, Guardian of Ancient Kings, Aura Mastery if I'm not Holy Paladin, Sentinel for my Prot Paladins, and I also want to keep track of Divine Protection and so on, right? So this is very important tab for healers. If you're a tank, you might want to put here like offensive CDs of your damage dealers, so you know kind of when to pull huge. And this part here is the most useful for me when it comes to spells. So it was useful in Theater of Pain in Shadowlands, where there is these two debuffs going at the same time. Right now, it's very useful for the last boss of Temple of the Jade Serpent. That also puts two debuffs. It's also good for, I think it's called Thunderlords in Ruby Life Pulse. I don't know. It's called, yeah, Thunderhead, which also puts these Rolling Thunder debuffs on 2 players, right? So it's generally a very good thing to track. So as okay, we didn't want to do that. As tank, you might want to have this on offensive cooldowns. As a healer, you wanna have this maybe as defensive cooldowns, and so on. Just it's very useful add-on. Yeah, these are all just quality of life. I don't think I have anything else to mention. Yeah, bartender for this, just sort. These are not healer specific add-ons, but just help you clean out your space on your screen, right? And yeah, big wigs always have it in M+. You can also customize the messages, the sounds, and so on. And yeah, that's it. That's for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. I stream on Twitch, as I already said, either from 8 o'clock or from 12. This is totally unedited video. I just recorded it in one session, so I know everything might sound choppy and out of order, but that's just how it is. If you have any questions, comment down below in the comment section. Put there your thoughts about this video. Put a like if this video helped you. If this video gave you any idea how you want your Vuhdoo party frames to look like. And I'll see you guys next time. Thank you for watching and see you.